Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see a presentation of Shakespeare's sonnet number 18. It will be a brief analysis and summary of the same. So before looking into Shakespeare's sonnets, let's see what a sonnet is. We are all familiar with this poetic form. A sonnet is a form of verse which is a stanza of 14 lines, and it's structured in 3 quatrains and a final couplet. The final rhyming couplet often sums up the whole idea of the sonnet, or it gives a surprising twist. William Shakespeare wrote sonnets on various themes. So, when referring to Shakespeare's sonnets, we almost always refer to the 154 sonnets which were published together in a quarto in 1609. However, there are 6 more sonnets that Shakespeare wrote and included in his plays like Romeo and Juliet, Henry V, and Love's Labour's Lost. We also find a partial sonnet in the play Edward III. The primary source of Shakespeare's sonnets is a quarto published in 1609 titled Shakespeare's Sonnets. It contains 154 sonnets mainly. The themes of the sonnets are the passage of time, love, infidelity, jealousy, beauty, and mortality of humans. Of the 154 sonnets, the first 126 are addressed to a young man. The next 26 sonnets are either addressed to or refer to a woman known as a dark lady, and hence these 26 sonnets are referred to as Dark Lady Sonnets or the Black Sonnets. So we already saw that the themes are the passage of time, infidelity, jealousy, beauty, and mortality. So of the 154 sonnets, the first 17 sonnets are known as the Procreation Sonnets, and they are addressed to the young man. And these sonnets urge him to marry or have children so as to immortalize his beauty by passing it on to the next generation. The other sonnets, till 126, express the speaker's love for the young man. And they also seem to brood upon the themes of loneliness, death, and the transience of life. They seem to criticize the young man for preferring a rival poet of Shakespeare, also express ambiguous feelings for the speaker's mistress, and pun on the poet's name. The final 2 sonnets are allegorical treatments of Greek epigrams referring to the little love god Cupid. The first 126 sonnets are addressed to a fair youth who is assumed to be an aristocratic young man. And the poet is imploring him to get married and have children. So there is no clear idea of who this young man is. There is this um, mention of initials known as Mr. WH. So nobody has a very clear idea as to who this WH might be. So some assume it to be William Herbert, the patron of the company that who refused to marry Elizabeth Carey, granddaughter of the patron of the company Shakespeare worked for. His initials seem to fit the dedication in the book to Mr. WH. The next candidate for this could be Henry Wriothesley, the 3rd Earl of Southampton, to whom Shakespeare dedicated his famous poem Venus and Adonis. So they assume that the initials have been reversed, maybe to conceal the identity of Henry Wriothesley. Next, the reference to the Dark Lady. So she's always referred to as the Dark Lady, and there are many candidates for whom this lady could be. So um, the first could be Mary Fitton, maid of honor to Queen Elizabeth and the mistress of William Herbert. Another candidate could be Emilia Lanier, mistress of Lord Hunsdon, and the patron of Shakespeare's company and thus his boss. Could also refer to Black Lewis, a brothel owner in Clerkenwell, or it could be the wife of John Florio, a linguist and translator of Montaigne, who could have been satirized as the pedantic Holofernes in Love's Labour's Lost. So, having looked into the identities of Mr. W.H. and the Dark Lady, now let us get into an analysis of Sonnet 18. So, like we already saw, the first 126 sonnets are about the young man for whom Shakespeare had deep affection. So, let me read the lines to you and then let us discuss what these lines refer to. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. And every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. So the poet begins by saying, Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? So here he questions the young man, asking him if he could compare him to a summer's day. So the English look forward to summer. That's the time when they can really enjoy the weather because they are more used to a wet weather in the UK. So they look forward to a summer. And Shakespeare, he compares his friend to a summer's day which everybody loves. So even though summer is a wonderful season, Shakespeare feels that his young friend is more lovely and more temperate than a summer's day. Because summers tend to be extreme in the UK, even though some days might be warm and sunny, there are some days which could be spoilt by rough winds. So, such rough winds would shake the buds of May, and the summer in the UK is too short, and sometimes the sun is too hot. When he says the eye of heaven, he's referring to the sun here. Some days the sun is too hot in the summer, or some days the sun is hidden by the clouds. So the summer is not steady, so it is either too sunny or it could be too rough and wet. So here he feels that his friend is better than a summer's day. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So even though the summer has a very short duration in the UK, the poet feels that his friend's youth would never fade, nor could death claim his friend if only he does one thing, and that is that this beauty and his youth could live on forever in the lines of Shakespeare's poem. So there, as long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. So he has immortalized the beauty of his friend in his poems. So as long as men live and breathe and can read, the beauty of his friend would live on forever and ever. So this is what Shakespeare wants us to know about the beauty of his friend. And I'm really thankful for all the sources online. I have referred to many different sources, for example, the Wikipedia, Spark Notes, and so on. And I'm really thankful to all the online sources available on Google. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and hope this was useful for you. Thank you for your time. Take care. Bye.